All right. Sit yourselves down, guys. Here we are, back with the AequepaX Racing channel and another World Endurance Championship coming your way. Back by popular demand. Look at the calendar if you want. It's not an April Fool. This is the real thing. Get yourself sat right down, right there, ready, because we have got 2 races of an hour and a half coming your way from the AequepaX Racing guys. And we are here for round 1 at Watkins Glen. So much information, I'm not going to be able to remember any of it. We're just going to have to feel our way through this one together. So, do you feel it? I think we're just going into qualifying, quarter to the hour. So qualifying is starting, I believe. Let me get myself back to track. Got to do all the settings again now. Or no, it hasn't. I thought maybe I've got keyboards back, so I thought maybe it would. It also like remember the settings that you prefer. So here we go. Where are we? After kind of being forced into a corner and not being able to run our usual endurance events, we created the GTWEC series. And after season 1 went down so well with an incredible close-fought championship, new teams joining our community and some overall great close racing, then it's only fair we bring it back for another season. Please read all the regs carefully, as there has been some refinement in some areas ironed out to hopefully make... Well, that's just little bits. It's I's and T's being dotted and lined. So, can I do my intro again? I didn't like that intro. It was poo-poo. Oh. Hola, mi amigos. Soy Thingamajig. Buenas noches. Mucho gusto. There you go. Spanish. I'm learning Spanish. That's all I know how to say. But I say it really properly. We're at Watkins Glen for a 3-hour endurance race on the day of Fools. Who would have thunk it? We've got a whole crew of people. They're using Group 3 cars. And what we've got, what have we got out there? We've got 2 Mercedes AMG GT3s. We should have 2 BMW AC7s. We should have a half an Aston Martin V12 Vantage and a half an Audi R8. I don't know how that works out. Half a McLaren and 2 Genesis X Group 3 cars. I can't see any kind of rules about tyres or anything like that. It's fully tuned. I think it's full damage. It's your B's and knees and the teams. This is where I'm going to get lost. This is where we're all going to get a little lost. Oh, that looks nice. What's shadowing an Audi? That thing's barely drivable if that's an Audi R8. Have I got any of that stuff? No. So, limited keyboards. But I can flick through people. Look, there's Dan Robbo, who I can tell you, if his name is not Dan Robbo on this sheet group, I am going to brain you. He changes the names. Dan Robbo is in the Speedbots Motorsport team, number 2, and he's being partnered by Caliber and Melvin. And it will be piloting the BMW M6 GT3. There it is in all its glory. We saw Robbo last season on the couple of races. He took part. Very swift, very fast. He's going for a racing medium set of tyres in his qualifying. Interesting. Behind him we have a Splash, an AXR Splash, and I assume he is racing for the AXR team. Yes, the AequepaX Racing, number 41, Mercedes AMG GT3. And he will be partnered by Liam Thurso and Illusion. And yeah, Dan Robbo going in, maybe to get rid of those mediums. Maybe mediums were not the correct tyre for him. He was just, well, that's his choice. They're all going in. Oh, these must be the people who want to start the race on mediums, but there is a small gap you get nowadays between qualifying. They could have asked Groot, say, look, we want to qualify on softs, but we want to change our tyres to mediums between race. So Dan Robbo in the pits, he's gone on to the soft tyre. A Rotary, he's out there racing for the Full Throttle Racing guys. God, they were in the Ford. They're still in a Ford, aren't they? Is that what they're in? Hang on. No, it's a Genesis. It's smooth at the front there, isn't it? It's quite a nice shaped vehicle. So I closed live chat because I was going to try and share the stream. Share the stream, pop, you know, far and wide. Be that guy. Be that really annoying guy that. Oh, someone's already shared it. Groot's that annoying guy, not me. Now I've got to get back to the stream. I could have clicked on Groot's link, shouldn't I? I'll close that because. Ooh, has he put a fancy picture up already? Nice. So, Yarrow in the chat saying go animal. So no one's put a lap in yet, I don't believe. We're at Watkins Glen. Cracking track. Let's go. Not there. Let's go there. With Rotary, I mean, we're virtually around the track now. Oh, they're starting to set their time. Splash. And Rotary was fastest. Timed that awfully, didn't I? So Kevin has gone a third fastest. Let me get the out list. You've got to bear with me. I used to use the keyboards all the time on sport. And now we've gone without them for so long, I'm still sort of working out what's what. So Rotary is your fastest man for the Full Throttle Racing guys. Splash for AequepaX Racing, next on the agenda. Kevin has gone third fastest. Kevin is racing with... He's racing with... Oh, he was racing with Caliber last season. No, he's a new team. THG RTF Aston Martin V12 Vantage. They're in the 324 car. And he's racing with Jay and Toe. Finnish people have got the best names, hardest to pronounce. It's like they don't like putting their lips together. Barely. Shadow is fourth fastest. Oh man, I can't keep looking. This is only the early things. I will start remembering who races for who. Shadow goes second fastest, just 2/10 off of Rotary for the Full Throttle Racing team. Not Shadow. He's racing for Garage 96 today. Kevin goes faster, but stays in fifth. They're in the Aston Martin, I said, didn't they? Splash. Shadow then has been knocked down because Dan Robbo, since putting those soft tyres on, has is it a Supra? No, it's a Beamer, isn't it? He's in the M6. Has gone fastest of all, 1.1 seconds ahead of Noir Anteras, who's just put a lap in. Put a time in, should I say. These guys who've gone in for the soft tyre, the ones that'll be starting on the mediums, they're starting to put their times in now. And it'd be interesting to see if they're going to pit in the qualifying. I think qualifying's at least 15 minutes. I was all over the place last season. I didn't know if it was 10 minutes, 12 minutes, or 15 minutes. So I'm going to go 15, and if it finishes earlier than that, then I wasn't wrong. It just wasn't as long as 15. Shadow then fourth fastest. Then we got Fred Dude racing for someone out there. My God. He was with the... Yeah, he's with the AXR gang. He's picked himself up a small penalty there. But Fred Dude is racing along with Joker and Groot in the AXR team, number 11, car 11. And they are racing the Genesis X. People are coming into pits. I pondered on such a philosophical question whether you can pit, would you pit in a qualifying session? And it turns out you would, because they are. So Dan Robbo, nearly an absolute clear track ahead of him, and again goes faster than everyone else by 1.3 seconds, but he's got a lot of cars coming out of the pit lane. It's all right, he stays out of the way. And Noir goes second fastest again, pulls in a couple of tenths on Dan Robbo, but still can't find that pace that Dan Robbo's got on the, what is he? Beamer. Again, so GT Racer has gone faster. He's gone third fastest, GT Racer. He seems like a new face to me. I can't remember him from season 1. GT Racer, let me have a look. Let me have a look for you. I'll tell you what team he's in. I don't think any of you really care what team he's in. GT Racer. He's racing the Chevy with Clockwork Motorsport team Vertex. Vertex. In the chat, we've got Speedy Man Charles saying Fred Dude impeded Nano on a hot lap. Oh my G's. Oh my G's. There's a I mean, it's a big track, lads. You can't get in each other's way, surely. Back off. Unless they're trying to get a bit of a tow. I mean, this is a shortish straight, but really isn't worth it, is it? It's not worth getting a tow on. So let me go through who's where so far. Dan Robbo is the fastest man so far. Noir Anteras is second fastest, with a GT Racer third fastest in the Chevy. Then we have a Rotary in the Genesis in fourth fastest for the full throttle guys. Then we've got Shadow fifth fastest, and he's piloting the Audi, I believe, Audi I.
He has 0 control.
Fred Dude, I think also in the Genesis, is sixth fastest so far. Splash is eighth fastest, with Nano and Maranello in the Chevy also, ninth fastest. Nano is racing with, give me a second, I'll find it. He's racing with Scuderia Shara, I don't know. But Nano Maranello is out there. Racer Brown in the chat saying hello. Hi, Racer Brown. He's with the VRC gang. And Liam in the chat saying Fred's wheel has turned itself off. He has 0 control. And Speedy Man Charles says Kiera, there you go. Thank you, Speedy Man. You are a star, Kiera. So yeah, Fred Dude, I don't think it was an intentional impeding someone. I think he's had software or hardware issues. And it does look like there's some sort of software or hardware issues going on. Look at it, it's wiggling around like a bad boy. That Genesis is wriggling around underneath him. It's a struggle there, oh my. So the grid so far, Dan Robbo is the fastest man by a second. Frequency, the Flying Fin has gone in second fastest. He is representing the Stosilla Racing, and he'll be racing with Nibles and Beetlejuice. Oh no, Liam saying that Fred Dude has had to swap to the controller last second. So wow, hardware, software and nightmare problems for Fred Dude out there. Bless him. It's going to be a tough hour and a half for Fred Dude. He's already got damage, man. He's fast as, oh, look at it wiggle. Oh, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Dan Robbo is your fastest man out there at the moment in the BMW. Then we have Rotary in the... Oh, Rotary has just gone ahead of Frequency. So Rotary in the Jenny X has gone second fastest ahead of Frequency. What's he in? A McLaren. Oof. Who's third fastest here at Watkins Glen for the first round, race one of the AequepaX Racing World Endurance Championship. And in the chat we have Beetlejuice saying it's interesting to see how it goes now with the new physics. Yeah, Polly Baloney came along and dicked everyone in the butt just ahead of this championship after all the testing, all of the setup changes, all of the hours spent on track finessing their cars, and then there was a bop change not 4 days ago, I can't remember how long ago, but and now all the car's physics are totally different, and they've changed car physics, not just bop, they've changed the tyre wear physics, and I think they've taken away grip. I'm not sure. It's kind of like a 50-50. I gauge all my life news from Facebook, and it seems like some people are loving the new physics and some people are hating it. But these guys have prepped themselves ready for a championship and have found themselves going into the first race back at the start, really. So everyone's starting to post times. Let's have a quick look through. Dan Robbo is still your pole sitter, but by 7/10. Rotary is second fastest so far, with Frequency in third on the grid. Noir Anteras is fourth on the grid, but they're all going faster. GT Racer is fifth on the grid, with Shadow sixth. Fred Dude seventh, deciding whether or not his life is worth it on a controller. Splash is eighth, he's done for the day. Nano and Maranello is still giving it some large in ninth. 10th for Kevin, and Animal Untamed is 11th, only 7/10. He was so close, but it looks like quite that is going to be the grid. I don't think anyone else is running. Rotary still giving it a go. We saw Frequency was still trying to go quite fast. I think Nano also, where was he? Down in ninth. I think he was trying to get a lap in before the end of the session. So Rotary is coming up close to the end of the lap. Dan Robbo's has gone back to the mediums, obviously. That's what his car's set on. And Sober in the chat saying all setups are useless now, and the time invested dumped away. Yes, and Kaz loves it. Kaz loves it. So what are we doing then? No one's really. Oh, the final lap thing's come up. Noirs has gone in. He's not going to go for it. Rotary's gone over. I didn't really check out what he'd done. So's Frequency. Oh, that looks like it's a run. GT Racer. So coming through. Is he going to go faster? No, he does not go faster. So that's him in fifth place, and he's done. Shadow coming out of the pits. Dude is done. Splash is done in eighth, and Maranello is done. He's in ninth. Only a 10th behind Splash, half a second ahead of Kevin, who looks to be still on a run to me, but I'm not sure. Just well, he's just been in the pits, hasn't he? And then we have Animal Untamed in 11th. He's not going any faster, so it's just Kevin. No, well, he's a 10th down on his fastest. He's half a second off of Nano and Maranello. And Nano Maranello and Maranello and Nano Maranello and Maranello. Hit me, Amadeus. Hit me, Amadeus. So Kevin then goes towards the line. Has he found 6/10 of a second since the last sector? No, he has not. So it's our man Dan Robbo racing for, who is he for? I think he's with the AequepaX guys, isn't he? He's one of their little diamonds. Yeah, AequepaX Racing has, has taken pole of the first round, race one the first race. There's 2 races we're going to have today. They'll swap over after an hour and a half with their teammates, and they'll continue the race, and it'll all get added up at the end. No, it's all points. It's not even times or added up things. So in the chat then, Jaro says a lot of drivers issues today, and Sober saying we changed last minute to the Audi R8 Garage 96 instead of the Viper. The Viper is way off the speed after the update. Kaz has got an issue with that Viper. See, it's a childhood favourite car of mine. Ever since it ever come out, I always thought, wow. And yeah, I've always been, oh no. Shadow, hopefully he's doing that to himself and it's not some sort of weird in-game glitch. Because that's the thing with updates. It's all very nice that I've got a keyboard to play around with, but updates brings bugs. And we don't want bugs, not in an endurance race, sir. Please, keep your bugs. So Dan Robbo starts on pole, just ahead of a Rotary. Rotary in the, what is he? Is he the full throttle guy? Oh, I'm so good at keeping up with these teams. We'll get there in the end. Rotary is in the full throttle. Yeah, I said full throttle. Right, there's a quick look at the results, but I'll get nervous they start the race. There's your grid. Dan Robbo, Rotary, Frequency, Noir Antares, GT Racer, Shadow, Fred Dude, Splash, then Nano Marinello, Kevin, and Animal Untamed. Brilliant stuff. Then we'll get to... Oh, no, we're not there yet. Sorry. Panic over. We can look at the cars they're in then. So Dan Robbo in the M6 GT3 Endurance model, got a 142.5, only 7/10 ahead of Rotary in his Genesis X. Frequency in his McLaren up there, only 7/10 is he? That's off of, no, 7/10 off the leader. That's the gap to the leader, is it? So, yeah, now I'm getting worried that they've started. No, they haven't. Nervous times. Look at all those A's and pluses along them driver rankings. That's a room full of aliens there, isn't it, eh? Wowzers. See, this is when they could have been changing to their medium tyres and such what. They didn't need to take them into qualifying. Groot wishing everyone good luck. Groot, the man behind the scene, not racing. He's running the room. Hats off to the man. You've got to say, hey. Big, huge up to the Groot. I am Groot. Come on, then. I've bigged you up. This is the time you start the race, so then we can just fluid. I don't have to say any more. Start saying things like knickers and boobs.
Rob's lazy off. He should be racing.
That's Kanzir saying Rob's lazy AF. He should be racing. Here we go. Spectate. There they are. Oh, for bloody hell. Could you not just remember what I was using 2 seconds ago? Yeah, so Shadow, he didn't pole it. Dan Robbo poled it. Hang on. What's gone on there? Well, I don't think they're going to continue. I think there'll be a quit out there because the grid looks really weird. And Dan Robbo, I don't know how Shadow suddenly got pole. What's going on? Rotary then. Here we go. Rotary's now leading for full throttle guys. Robbo, and it's put Shadow back. So that was just a glitch in the matrix. We're all right. We're back. Don't worry. So Rotary off to a great start. And Dan Robbo losing a position, but he's on the mediums. And Rotary was also on the mediums there between the 3 top men, all starting on the medium tyres, going for a long stint possibly, and nearly tripping over each other. Behind them we have a Shadow, then a GT Racer up in 5th place. Nano Marinello's had a great start, up in 6th. Kevin 7th, giving Marinello something to think about. On board with Kevin, as you see the field ahead. Noir Antares had a terrible start down into 8th, and Fred Dude with that controller down in 9th. It's It's a shocker for a couple of them out there. And Kenzie Noir pulled a S1 Trial Mountain again. Oh, so he's at early start. Let me see if I can get back. Here we go. Hey! So Rotary is leading this race from Dan Robbo. Frequency in third. Then we have Shadow in fourth place in the Audi. And then GT Racer fifth. Sixth for Maranello, but he looked like he was having a wiggle there. And Kevin in seventh. He's got a little gap from him, but he's got Noir Antares right there on his tail, with Fred Dude in the mix as well. And I saw some dust getting kicked up ahead, but no, we're all right. Animal Untamed is in 10th, and Splash is down there in 11th spot. And not a great start for the AXR team. Rotary then leads, but he's got Dan Robbo all up and in his business. The McLaren's slipping away, and Shadow in the Audi is gaining on frequency. The Flying Fin, though, could be fuel saving. It's early doors in this race yet, and there's a lot of what ifs. And Dan Robbo goes for the lead, and he pulls an amazing pull off. He pulled him off. Rotary just got yanked. Dan Robbo just pulled out an amazing move on Rotary, and wow, Rotary, you've just been mugged, mate. Call the police. Frequency in third, and I said he's dropping back, but no, the Audi R8 has now slipped a couple of tenths away, and GT Racer, why? Oh yeah, there we go. Why is it not giving me a time between Rotary and Frequency? That's so weird. Lots of weird things happening out there at the moment, but GT Racer, they're in fifth. Dan Robbo still leads with Nano Maranello. Nice little bit of space either side of him. A second ahead of Fred Dude. Fred Dude's made his way up through the field, hasn't he? He was down in 10th, was he not? He's 7th now. Kevin Noir Antares. His race has gone from worser to worser, with Animal Untamed right there and Splash in the periphery. Getting purples, but they all get purples on lap 2. But it's Dano Robbo. It's old Robbo, in it, out there in the lead. 1.7 seconds. That is disgraceful. What pace. Rotary then doing an upstanding job so far, but he's got Frequency keeping him ever company in the cockpit of Frequency for Stossilla Racing, I believe. In the chat then, Kenzie saying Noir pulled, yeah, we saw that one. Jero saying amazing takeover, and Kenzie saying watch out for GT Racer, he'll come alive the more the race goes on. So yes, GT Racer, he's 1.7. No, he's just lost a position to Shadow. Let's see if we can get this. Oh man, sweet, he must have made a mistake, because Shadow is quite some time, and he's, oh look, he's got a penalty. So surely a small mistake, small off, and then the computer decides, do you know what, if you haven't been punished enough, we'll give you half a second penalty. And Maranello there ready to scoop up that position, with Fred Dude also picking up a similar penalty in this race. And there goes Maranello all the way through GT Racer, and GT Racer now losing 2 positions as Fred Dude, well, he lost time as well. Noir Antares trying to get back into this race, but he might be doing a lot of car management. And in the Beamer, we've seen the Beamer has the pace up the front. And then we have Kevin in 9th, Splash in 10th. He's got himself ahead of the Mercedes, the Valvoline Mercedes of Animal Untamed. And it's Dan Robbo, 3 seconds, really? Really, seriously? He's in a different race, this man. Unbelievable. Now, it looks like someone's gone into pit. And it's Kevin deciding, oh, he's got damage. I tell thee. Yeah, the damage doesn't fix itself in this series. If you get damage, you've got damage. And it's best to just get it fixed rather than lose the time. Dan Robbo is unbelievable pace out there. 2 seconds faster than Rotary. Frequency going for a move on the full throttle racing, guys, but Rotary managing to keep his foot in there this time. and doesn't get mugged off like he did earlier in the race from Robbo. But Rotary really, Frequency I mean, is really giving him some harassment out there as they do the bob shuffle through the corner. That bounce virtually went away. I don't know why it's back again. On board with the McLaren, and it is nippy out of the corners, isn't it? She might not have it down the straights, but when she comes out the corners, oh, look at the speed and the beautiful stuff there from Frequency on Rotary. Oh, but he's not got the inside line, and Rotary is going to reclaim the corner. A little bit of door banging from these two, but Frequency does look like he's slightly ahead, but Rotary's again on the inside, and he didn't give as much space that time. Well, he got ahead, so he did not need to give the space. And yeah, Frequency, unbelievable stuff there in the McLaren up against a Rotary, who is in the Genesis, the GTWEC. Then we have GT Racer, who we said gone down 2 places, has jumped a shed load of places. I don't think we'll get any of them. Here we go. Look at that. No, he's already there. He's already made his moves. But, there you go. No. Oh, it doesn't tell you what positions, does it? Oh, 4th. Yeah, so he's already made his positions. There you go. Ooh, that's fancy, though. That's fancy. I'll give him that. So, 4th place for GT Racer. With, it's Shadow that's dropped down a bit. Maybe it was Shadow's replay we should have looked at. Fred Dude right in the mix. No, Fred Dude's got a big tank slapper on, and he's lost the position to Noir Anteras, who's up and into 7th. And it's so weird seeing Noir so far down the field. He was a front runner for sure last season, as was Fred Dude, but we've heard Fred Dude has got some hardware problems. Splash as well down there in 9th. Animal Untamed, and it's Kevin, but Kevin, remember, pitted. He pitted, he put the softs on, not much fuel, but he fixed his damage because he had the damage. It's this race 1 is 90 minutes, remember. We are only at not even, what is that, 10% through the race. And already we have had massive racing on track. Kevin a little further from the field through an early pit stop. Dan Robbo 6.5 seconds ahead of the field, just from being an absolute crazy fast man. Frequency, we saw having himself a lovely little battle with a Rotary in the GTWEC and the McLaren, and they had a glorious battle. Frequency got ahead, but Frequency is not even using his tyres at this point, and the GTWEC definitely punishing her tyres more than the McLaren is doing so. Dan Robbo's tyres also in not a bad state, but Frequency definitely got the better tyres out of the top 3. GT Racer coming through, sir. Move out the way. 1.8 seconds behind a Rotary in his Corvette, and he's got Nano Marinello in the other Corvette chasing him down. Shadow having an interesting race. He's going to go wide. Oh, the back end of the Audi R8 punishing Shadow as Noir Anteras was getting into a race with him. And I don't know what. I'll tell you, I know if there's contact. I've got the tools. I've got the tools, sir. Oh yeah, there was a little punt at the back there, I think. And Noir Anteras caught out by the braking there, it seems. Look at that, replays. Hey. So Dan Robbo, his fuel, hey, please refuel, remaining fuel laps. What's that about? He's got half a tank of fuel. Oh no, have I got to look at that for the rest of the race? Please refuel, what is that about? I don't know. That is shocking. Can you not see it on your screen? Yeah, it's on there. That's going to be annoying, isn't it? Please refuel. I'm not racing. Ah, there it is. Come on. What the hell was that? Apparently my Polo that is the car I'm chosen at the moment is running out of fuel. Dan Robbo then half a tank of fuel, tyres looking good, banging in some purples. He's on it. I don't know why. I've got the checkered flag with the countdown on it as well. I'd rather not have that. Is that like until the end of the session? So Frequency in second, and he's pulling away from Rotary with GT Racer pulling in Rotary. It's all very intriguing stuff.
Slightly smiling face.
And Beetlejuice in the chat saying some bugs get fixed and now new ones introduced. Happens with every update. I know, but they always take me by surprise because they just seem a very random drug. Hello, a very random bug. Telling me there's fuel. There's no one out there who's out of fuel. Yeah. They're just random. They're so random. It is weird. So GT Racer in fourth, Nano and Maranello, Nano, Maranello. He's doing a cracking job. He's 2.6 seconds behind GT Racer. Are they in the same car? I believe they are. Oh look, he's doing it again. That's ridiculous. So, yeah. Oh, and I'm not going to let it bother me, but it's bothering me. He's got it. So Nano Maranello, he's in the same car as GT Racer at the moment. Corvette looking good, but a bit heavy on its tyres. They're only halfway through that tank of fuel, and yes, the tyres are getting punished. Noir and Terrace, who I said didn't have a great start. Look at him, he's only 15 seconds behind Dan Robbo, and Dan Robbo is probably about 7 seconds. So that's not terrible, 7 seconds Dan Robbo is against the field. So when you see Noir sit as 15 seconds behind Dan Robbo, you got to remember 7 seconds. He's behind second place in 7 seconds. That's not huge. It's not huge in an hour and a half race, I tell thee. So Noir and Terrace, and you got to remember they've all been thrown off with the testing and everything they've done. Came to naught because it was only a few days before this race they totally changed the physics of the game. So everyone's, I think the suspension was out. It was just everything. But Noir and Terrace now closing in on Nano Maranello. BMW versus the Corvette. We've still got Robbo leading from Frequency, Rotary in third, GT Racer solid fourth there, can't even see him up the road, and Dan Robbo is making a pit stop now. Dan Robbo has decided this is the time to get rid of those medium tyres in his BMW. Frequency stays out, but why would he pit? His tyres are absolutely pleasant. And Rotary also stays out, and he probably was the one that should have pitted. GT Racer moves up into third place with Noir and Terrace now in fourth. Dan Robbo, Fred Dude goes through in the Jenny X with Splash now up and into sixth. So Nano Maranello pitted as well. Kevin pitted earlier, and it looks like Animal Untamed pitted last time out with Shadow. Shadow we saw having that huge spin, I imagine picked up quite a bit of damage, and I would think he's just happy to see a car in front of him after that adventure. So Frequency leads. When will he pit? How long can he hang out that McLaren? Rotary has picked himself up a huge penalty. Huge. He's only 6/10 ahead of GT Racer, and Rotary with a 1.5 second penalty. Did he cut the pit lane or something? Wow. And GT Racer rubbing his hands as he'll see the Jenny X all slow right down in this section. And it's like taking candy from a baby. There you go. Thank you very much. GT Racer now up and into second place. Rotary slipping down into third, and he really desperately, I would imagine, needs a new set of tyres. As Noir and Terrace, fourth place. He was virtually at the back some 16 minutes ago, or 15 minutes ago, with a terrible start, jump start, I believe. And Fred Dude getting used to the controller, and it's coming together. It's coming together for Fred Dude. Splash wasn't sure what his issues were at the beginning of the race, but he found himself at the back. Now GT Racer and Rotary both coming in. Frequency, still no need to pit. He's going to run that petrol tank right low, isn't he? He's just going to do it. So 15 minutes, half a tank of fuel. So a fuel tank can last 30 minutes, we'll say. And it's going to be a 90-minute race. So what's that, 2 pit stops? You could do it in 2 pit stops, and that's probably, I'm thinking, what Frequency is aiming at. A 2 pit stop strategy. These other guys stopping at 15s because of the fuel tanks. There's Dan Robbo, he's back up, he's filled up, and another set of mediums. So he's not, you'd think he'd leave the fuel if it was tyres, but his tyres wasn't that bad. I'm unsure of why the pit stop came for Dan Robbo. He obviously has an idea in his mind of how he wants to run this race. But yes, it was definitely an early pit stop. Didn't seem like his tyre wear was as bad as those around him. And he still had virtually half a tank of fuel, but he did pit. And now he's running in 3rd with a Frequency leading the race. Had a solid race in that McLaren. It's not the fastest car out there, but in Frequency's hands, he's doing a great job with it. A great job. And then Fred Dude up into 2nd, had to swap to the controller very last minute. But his tyres are starting to wane, I would believe. Dan Robbo will be up on him very soon. GT Racer having a cracking little race, but there's a few of them all in a line here. We've got GT Racer, Rotary still in it. Oh, did he have a little wiggle? He had a wiggle coming through the corner. It's a very difficult corner, that one. Nano Maranello in 6th. Fred Dude's pitted now. Noir Anteras. He's racing Fred Dude, so we'll stay with him while Fred Dude is in the pits. Noir Anteras will be trying to get ahead of Fred Dude. And has he done it, Fred Dude there? You see him slipping. He's not out of the pits yet, Fred Dude. Oh, what's he doing? That's a slow pit lane, isn't it? That's painful. That's painful for Fred Dude as he sees Noir Anteras get the undertake done. And Splash also might be getting a position from Fred Dude. Fred Dude, the pit stop cost him. Leading the race then, a Frequency. I've got to take my jumper off, it's really warm. Give me one sec. Strip show right here. Race is heating it up, baby. So Frequency is leading the